Let's get right into it. We're talking about something truly dramatic, one of the most terrifying things that can happen inside the human body: anaphylaxis. It's this full-blown medical emergency where every single second counts. So, what we're going to do here is break down exactly what's going on and how one little medication can literally pull the body back from the edge. It can all start with something so incredibly normal: a bee sting, maybe eating a peanut, or just taking a simple medication. But here's the thing. For someone who's sensitized, this isn't just a small local issue. No, it kicks off this violent chain reaction that just rips through the entire body. It hits everything: your skin, your breathing, even your heart. So let's be clear, this is way more than just an allergy. It's like a physiological five-alarm fire. So the big question is, how does this even happen? I mean, our immune system, it's supposed to protect us, right? But with anaphylaxis, it gets it all wrong. It sees something totally harmless and flags it as a deadly threat. And the defense it mounts is so overwhelming, so completely out of proportion, that the defense itself becomes the real danger. It's just a catastrophic false alarm. So when we look at the official definition, it's called a type I hypersensitivity, which really is just the sciencey way of saying a super fast, super severe allergic reaction. But the words that really matter here are severe, rapid, and multiple organ systems. This is key. We're not talking about a simple rash in one spot. We're talking about a situation where within minutes, the body's most important systems can all start to shut down at once. And that's what leads straight to anaphylactic shock, a state of total circulatory collapse. And the wild part is the triggers for this total meltdown can be things we see every single day. For some people, it's foods, right? Like nuts or shellfish. For others, it might be common drugs like antibiotics or, a sting from a bee or a wasp. The most important thing to get here is that for a person whose immune system has been primed, even a teeny tiny microscopic amount of one of these triggers is enough to light the fuse. Yeah, and this visual really nails that paradox, doesn't it? We're looking at completely normal, everyday things. But inside the body of someone with this condition, well, they become the specific key that unlocks a life-or-death reaction. The danger isn't actually in the peanut or the bee sting. It's all about the body's terrible, catastrophic misinterpretation of it. Okay, so now let's zoom way in. We're going to go down to the cellular level to see how this whole thing builds, because to really understand that chaos, you have to look at the microscopic soldiers of our immune system and pinpoint where the orders go so horribly wrong. So it all begins with that first exposure, the first time an allergen gets into the body. As you're seeing here, these immune cells called B cells spot it. They then change into what are called plasma cells and start pumping out a ton of these specific antibodies called IgE. Now, you should think of these IgE antibodies like tiny, custom-made homing missiles. They're designed for one thing and one thing only: to recognize that one specific allergen. Okay, so what happens next? Those IgE missiles then go and attach themselves to the surface of mast cells. And you can think of mast cells as, well, they're basically little chemical weapons depots, just packed with tiny grenades of histamine. The whole system is now armed and ready. So the next time that exact same allergen shows up, it binds directly to the IgE on those mast cells, and that triggers what's called degranulation. It's a massive, explosive release of histamine and a bunch of other chemicals right into the bloodstream. The bomb has just gone off. And that flood of histamine, that's what causes the entire system to just collapse. It doesn't just act in one place. It wreaks havoc everywhere, all at the same time. So let's really walk through this path of destruction, one catastrophic failure at a time. First up, vasodilation. Histamine tells all your blood vessels to just open wide, expand, which causes your blood pressure to absolutely plummet. At the same time, those vessels become leaky. They start pouring fluid out into your tissues, and that's what causes all that dangerous swelling you see in the lips, the tongue, the throat. Then you've got bronchoconstriction. The muscles lining your airways squeeze shut, making it incredibly hard, if not impossible, to get air. And finally, with no blood pressure and leaky pipes, the heart just can't pump effectively anymore. Its output collapses. And this image right here, wow, it gives you a really stark visual of what that bronchoconstriction actually looks like. On the left, you've got a healthy open airway. That passage is nice and wide. But on the right, that's the airway during anaphylaxis. You can see the muscle has thickened and squeezed tight, narrowing that passage for air down to almost nothing. This is literally why a person can't breathe. So you see, all of these things happening at once, they all lead to one place: anaphylactic shock. You have dangerously low blood pressure, a blocked airway, and a circulatory system that's just failing. This is the very definition of a time-critical, life-threatening emergency. But for this complete and total system meltdown, there is an equally powerful solution: a single drug that works like a master key, one that can rapidly reverse every single one of these life-threatening effects. And that drug is epinephrine. Epinephrine, you probably know it as adrenaline, is the #1 first-line, absolutely non-negotiable treatment for anaphylaxis. It's usually given with an autoinjector, which is designed for instant use because, as we've already seen, every single second is critical. It is the only thing that can stop and reverse this collapse.
So how does epinephrine work so perfectly? It's kind of amazing, actually. This table breaks it down. It basically launches a three-pronged counterattack by hitting three different types of receptors. First, it hits the alpha-1 receptors to cause vasoconstriction. It squeezes those wide-open blood vessels and brings that blood pressure right back up. Second, it targets the beta-1 receptors in your heart, cranking up its rate and pumping strength to fight off that cardiac collapse. And third, it goes after the beta-2 receptors in the lungs. This causes bronchodilation, forcing those tight airways to relax and open right back up so you can breathe. But wait, it gets even better. Epinephrine doesn't just clean up the mess. It actually goes straight to the source of the problem. It stabilizes those mast cells, stopping them from dumping any more histamine. It's like it tells the body's chemical weapons depots to stand down, stopping the whole chain reaction from getting any worse. So when you look at the emergency protocol for this, the path forward is crystal clear. After you check the basics, airway, breathing, circulation, the very first most important action is intramuscular epinephrine. All that other stuff, oxygen, IV fluids, even antihistamines, that's all secondary. It's supportive. The #1 step, the thing that saves a life, is getting that epinephrine in without a moment's delay. So you see, anaphylaxis is the ultimate race against the clock. It's a situation where the body's own defenses become its worst enemy. But by understanding the whole mechanism, from that first IgE antibody to the mast cell explosion and all the way to that multi-system reversal by epinephrine, we can turn fear into knowledge. And that leaves us with one really important question. Knowing that speed is absolutely everything, are we prepared to recognize what's happening and act?